Good morning, Moscow Bears, and welcome to our first podcast. I'm your host, Theo.
And I'm Lane.
And I'm Hayden.
Please rise and remove hats for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, after the Pledge of Allegiance on this show, we're going to start with a fun fact of the day. Today's fun fact of the day was brought to you by Mr. Walker, who says that the addition and subtraction symbols used in math was first used in the year 1489. Wow.
I would like to look into that and see, where those signs came from.
The meaning kind of behind the symbol, right?
Yeah, that and where in the world,
Right,
particularly.
right.
Yeah.
And so now, in this segment, we're going to have some teacher announcements normally. So we have a juicy piece of information. Middle school math teacher, Ms. Dunworth, was recently hired by the high school, and she'll be starting there next year. She'll be filling our vacant spot at math teacher, and likely that room down there in the basement.
Yeah, I've had Ms. Dunworth before. She's honestly a great addition to the math department at the high school.
Yeah, she really is. I would have to agree with you there. I learned quite a bit from her in middle school math.
Yeah. Say, Hayden, what's for lunch today?
Funny you should ask. For lunch today, we have a crispy chicken with a garlic rosemary garnish. So to make this, you're going to need some chicken stock, some fresh lemon juice, some Dijon mustard, red pepper flakes, salt, pepper, rosemary, and garlic cloves. So you're going to start by making sure your chicken is cooked all the way through with a nice crispy golden skin on the outside,
Sure, yeah.
And you have to be certain that the chicken is cooked all the way through. Get your meat thermometer out and make sure. Chicken is very easy to get wrong. And if you get it wrong, you could get
salmonella.
And no one wants that.
No.
So while the chicken's cooking, you're going to mix together your chicken stock, your lemon juice, your mustard, and the garlic all together, Then while you're mixing that, you're going to add in your seasonings, the salt, the pepper, and the rosemary. And after the chicken's done, you're going to put that sauce into the pan you cooked the chicken in to heat it up a little bit, And once it's heated up, you don't want it boiling, but just hot enough. You're going to take some spoonfuls of that and glaze it over your chicken. Nice little sauce. Don't overdo the sauce. It can be a little potent. But so yeah, you got a nice, easy, delicious, and healthy lunch. Should take you about 20 minutes to prepare.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd like to try that, Hayden. Well, moving on from that, today in sports, Abendroth would like us to note that all spring sports are still going to be canceled until further notice. I'm sure you guys are all aware of this. It's not really news. However, there is a touch of hope. Abendroth will be in attendance at an IHSAA meeting this Friday. We will know more after that. Now, today, if sports, was still occurring, there was supposed to be a JV golf meet at Moscow Elks course. However, that is canceled, as well as a varsity baseball game in Asotin that was also supposed to take place today. Moving on to sports around the country, Christian McCaffrey is now the league's highest paid running back, getting a contract from the Panthers worth $64 million for 4 years. That's $16 million a year. Is he really worth that much?
In my opinion, yes. I mean, I think he's one of the best in the league, but
we'll have to see about that.
I'd have to disagree with you there, but I'm not trying to spark too much of a debate.
Well, I'll settle this later with you.
Right.
Now, for a piece of more local news, former O-lineman and player for the Idaho Vandals, Mike Iupati, has just signed a 1-year deal with the Seahawks. I'm sure many people have actually watched him play for the Vandals, so that's pretty exciting. So stay tuned for the possibility of more sports news on Friday.
All right, so the elementary school music movement teacher, as well as our very own high school's choir teacher, Miss Sant, would like to remind everyone about the citywide bear hunt. The bear hunt is an activity for elementary school students and their families to wander around town and point out different bear themed items around town after they read the book, The Great Bear Hunt. She would like anyone who's able to put anything bear themed in their yard or in their windows that's visible from the streets, like a plush teddy bear or something.
Right.
And she's also encouraging high school students and seniors to put Moscow Bears themed items in their house to distinguish themselves, as well as for the seniors to do any identifiable things about themselves in their windows or in their yards, such as their sporting number, their name, or anything similar.
Right.
Yeah, get outside and search for some of those and see if you can see any of your seniors out there.
All right, Theo. So, what's happening around the globe?
Guys, I have some news that is going to brighten your day. There's some good stuff going on. An anonymous donor gave $82,000 in gift cards from local businesses to every household in the small town of Earlham, Iowa, to help the people and boost the local economy.
Yeah, to buy like groceries and things like that, right?
Yeah, it'll hopefully help lower income people to get their food in this uncertain time. An enzyme found in composted leaves has been discovered to break down plastic to a recyclable form in a matter of hours, which is definitely going to simplify the recycling process. Like plastic is a very widely used material that is not it's not able to be recycled very easily.
Right.
And so that's going to make it a lot more straightforward and environmentally friendly.
So you're saying we now have a process and a solution to clean up the oceans from all the plastic waste?
Yeah. If we can find a way to put this into the ocean in some way that can help to eat up some of this plastic, that would definitely be.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
An environmentally friendly solution. Yeah. I'm excited to see where that goes.
Well, moving on to today in history, the sculptor, painter, and scientist Leonardo da Vinci was born today in 1452, along with Ed O'Brien, member of the band Radiohead, and he was born in 1968. And tomorrow, actor Charlie Chaplin was born in 1889.
Funny guy.
Yeah. Great actor. In 1861, moving on, President Lincoln mobilized his federal army for the Civil War. And then from there, in 1952, President Truman signed the Japanese Peace Treaty, effectively ending the
Second World War.
The Second World War, yeah.
Also, an important piece of history, Thomas Edison unveiled his kinetoscope today, which is one of the first uses of moving pictures, and that kind of led to films and cinema that we know today.
Now, since we're on the topic of entertainment and films, we'd like to talk about the entertainment medium for keeping you guys busy while you're cooped up at home during the quarantine. So the movie we'd like to talk about today is called Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and wouldn't you say it's one of the better 80s movies in my opinion? It's a
classic,
yeah.
It's a classic, and it's also a classic that has aged very well.
Fine wine of film, yeah.
So it's about a Chicago that lives. It's by
a Chicago teen.
A Chicago teen, excuse me. Thank you, Hayden. A Chicago teen that kind of lives by his own rules, even when it comes to school. One day he pretends to be sick and then sneaks out of his house to go party with his best friend and girlfriend. They go to baseball games. They steal
his best friend's car.
Their dad's Ferrari. They do all sorts of crazy stuff, and then he does it all in time to get back home, where his parents find him in bed. It's a very high energy movie that's sure to lift your spirits in these times where things can get a little dull and boring.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all for today, folks. Tune in on Wednesday, where we'll hope to have more announcements from faculty to keep you updated, a new lunch to try, and a discussion on the Tiger King documentary. Remember to stay safe out there, and we'll see you around.
This is a student-led and organized production. However, it is unaffiliated with Moscow High School. The podcast was brought to you by the student body and has received no official endorsement from NHS.